everyone, I'm Colleen with Awaken Catholic, and this is Awaken the Saint. Today we're talking about Saint Agnes of Bohemia. She was born not just Agnes, but Princess Agnes, to King Ottokar I in 1211. As a noble, her life seemed destined to be one of comfort, ease, and of course, royal court politics. In those times, a girl of her position was seen mostly as a tool for political gain, and sure enough, at just 8 years old, she was betrothed to the young son of the Holy Roman Emperor. 6 years passed, and these marriage plans eventually fell through. Agnes's father shifted gears as quickly as he could, and instead tried to have her engaged to King Henry III of England. Unfortunately for him, this plan was immediately stopped by the Holy Roman Emperor, who had evidently decided he wanted Agnes for himself. Agnes, now old enough to have a voice of her own, however small, found a way to tell her father and any potential suitors enough is enough. She appealed to Pope Gregory IX, expressing her desire to dedicate herself entirely to God. This bold move instantly invalidated any further arranged marriages she might have been forced into, and of course was a great disappointment to the Roman Emperor, who famously said in response, "If she had left me for a mortal man, I would have taken vengeance with the sword. But I cannot take offense because in preference to me, she has chosen the King of Heaven." Following this declaration, Agnes set aside her noble lineage and focused all her energies on helping the poor and the sick. She founded the convent of the Order of Poor Clares, where she worked as a nun, cooking for and clothing beggars, lepers, and so many others who were in desperate need. During this time, she also corresponded with Saint Clare, who was very much a kindred spirit. Both of these saintly women had defied authority in their youth in order to fulfill their true calling. Fittingly, for someone who was born a noble, but willingly humbled herself in order to help the lowliest of the poor, Saint Agnes of Bohemia was a symbol of mortification and sacrifice. Of course, it couldn't have been easy. We're talking about a woman who was born into riches and grew up entirely accustomed to all the comforts that come with her lofty station. In the world of today, we've gotten used to having so many comforts, talking with loved ones at the push of a button, being able to stop somewhere and get a warm meal in minutes, and a lot more beyond this. Sometimes it's really hard to stay in control of these comforts and not let them control us instead. Agnes was wise enough to see that all of her comforts came at a cost. As a princess, she was just a pawn to be used by powerful figures. But as a nun, she was valued and beloved by so many. You could easily say that only when she took her vow of poverty did she become truly free. Even after her death in 1282, it seemed like Agnes was not one for titles. She was enthusiastically celebrated as a holy figure, but it wasn't until way later in the 19th century that she was beatified. And then the 20th century when she was finally canonized under Pope John Paul II. May each of us learn from St. Agnes to practice true humility and sacrifice. St. Agnes of Bohemia, pray for us.